Well, hello, my lovelies. How are you? Yes, I started the show taking a sip of coffee because I don't know. I just did. So 10-minute topic today. We're keeping these short because I think people like the shorter ones. And you got busy lives, you got things to do. You maybe only have a 10-minute commute to work. Maybe you have like a 20-minute commute to work, and I'm not the only thing that you want to be listening to or watching to start your day. You have other things to do, and I understand that. So that's why we're making these short. But this is just a conversational one. I'll come up with a topic title probably at the end. I want to talk about my dream, man. Dreams, more than one. Craziest thing is going on. Now, first of all, I've always had like really, really elaborate, vivid dreams. Always. It's always been a thing. I have had entire movies play out in my head in my dreams. It's just a thing. Always have. Mostly great dreams, a handful of, not so great dreams. I should say tons, but quite a few recurring dreams that I've had my entire life or variations of my entire life. And it's so crazy. I wish I could take like a USB port and plug it into my head and download it and just show you what goes on in here. It's like crazy. And I'm always baffled, blown away by people who say, I don't remember my dreams. No, I don't even know. Are they in color? I don't know if they're in color. I'm not sure. Like, what? Who are you? How is it possible? It blows my mind that anyone could, not remember their dreams or believe that they don't have dreams. I think everybody dreams. I guess there are people that don't remember them or don't have these like technicolor dreams in their head that they're thinking about for days after, or years in my case, and people like me who dream like this in their cases. I have even gone so far, I had to write a book based on a dream, which is not unusual for writers. A lot of writers have done that. It's like nothing special that I did that. But yeah, technically two books. Two of my books that I wrote came from dreams. One of them was so upsetting. Apologies, I'm plugging a book right now. One of the books is called Still Here. And that happened because in the dream, real life here, real dream, not the story. I mean, anyhow, in the dream, I was standing on the edge of a cliff, and down below is a body of water. And in the dream, I jump off the cliff, and everything's like in slow motion, and I plunge into the water. And I keep just going down, further and further and further and further. And then when it's time to come up, the surface is like so far away. And in the dream, I struggling to breathe. The air is obviously, trapped in your lungs and you can't inhale because you're underwater. And I feel this pressure in my chest, this, need to breathe. And the panic, of course, is setting in. And then this is going on for so long that you have to inhale. Like it's reflex. You have to do it. Your body insists. And I breathe in the water. And then just before I come up out of the surface, I woke up. So whatever it was that happened in the dream, I translated that in my mind to having died in the dream. Now, I've heard people say that, like, you can't die in your dreams. Like, you always wake up before you die in your dreams. So, whatever. I don't know. But this dream was so vivid and so real. Like, I must have actually held my breath in my sleep, because I woke up gasping. And it bothered me so bad. It was so clear in my head that I was like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Like, is this really going to happen to me? And the reality is me standing on the edge of a cliff. Like it's not gonna, no, thank you. And we do go hiking. I've gotten fairly close, but I do have a thing about unsecured edges of things and my being on them. I can't do it. So, you can understand why some of this dream happened. That's beside the point. The dream bothered me so much that I had to write it down. And I thought I was just going to purge it and just make it gone and kind of make myself feel, but like I actually had this plan. I was going to write it out. I was going to burn the paper, and I was just going to send the dream into the sky, into the universe. I don't know. And to get rid of it. Well, lo and behold, it became a book. And, so I started writing and I kept writing and I kept writing and I kept writing and it became a book. And I love the story. I love the book. I don't know if you would love it or not, but it's called Still Here. It's available on Amazon. If you're interested in, seeing where that story went in my head and then onto paper, go check it out. I would love that. And the other one, second book plug. Sorry, guys. I didn't actually intend for this to be a plug my book episode, but I guess we have to because this is what we're talking about. The second book, I woke up one morning with the phrase, the sentence in my head, I know something you don't know. And that was it. I just woke up. I don't remember that dream. Ironically, I don't right now remember what that dream was, but I woke up with that line in my head. I know something you don't know. And it wasn't in that sing-songy voice that you may be hearing that phrase in, when they say, I know something you don't know. It wasn't like that. It was a monotone. It was just very flat. I know something you don't know. That was it. So I wrote it down. And the next thing I know, I had a book written on this. I don't know where the story came from. I honestly, gosh, I just don't know where that story came from. But I just sat down and I started writing and I let the story tell itself. And that book is called Lost and Found Girls. So those are the two books that came directly from dreams. Still Here and Lost and Found Girls. And if you'd like to check them out, you know where to find them. So back to the subject at hand, dreams and what they mean and what impact they have on you and all that kind of stuff. And listen, I know this is nothing new. Everybody's talking about forever and ever their dreams and the meaning behind them and all that kind of stuff. But I'm talking about it today. So here we go. So if you've been following along, you know that I have been on this really beautiful, wonderful faith journey. And somebody said to me, a dear friend who has been longer on her faith journey than I have, she reached out to me the other day and she said, it's part of our conversation. We had a big, long conversation about all this, wonderful conversation. And part of that conversation that really kind of freaked me out a little bit and set me on edge and made me a little nervous was she said, well, you have to watch out now because essentially in a nutshell, the devil knows that you're on this faith journey and he wants to take you off it. So he's going to put things in your way to derail you, basically. He's coming for you, essentially, is what she said. And to be aware that that's the case, because that's what happens when you declare yourself for God as being one of his. It gets the devil's attention and he will send his demons for you, basically. And that doesn't necessarily, some of you might be picturing, oh, okay, she thinks that these dark, glowing eyed, horned figures are going to come and get her. No, I don't think that. I don't think that. Although interestingly enough, we'll get to that in a minute. That comes obviously in all earthly forms, people coming into your life and, trying to derail you, things happening in life that are obstacles and challenges and difficulties, and that are trying to get you to say things like, yeah, but I put my faith in God, so why are bad things happening to me? Oh, I don't like him anymore. Forget this faith crap. I feel blasphemous just saying that. But that's the goal. That's the intention of, that's what she meant. So I'm like, okay. Made me nervous. I'm like, wow, life is really, really good. I'm not like a lot of people in that. And I felt a little guilty about this, funny enough. I'm not like a lot of people who came to faith because of adversity. Like some people, like addiction is a big, people with addictions make up a really, I guess, I don't have percentages. I don't have statistics on it, but I think they make up a really good percentage of Christians, devout Christians who turn from addiction to faith to overcome addiction. And people who have had extreme difficulties in life and struggles who just need to turn everything over to God to help them find their way. I think that's probably more common than people like me who are like, oh, that's great. Everything's good. I'm very happy. I'm peaceful. Hey, I think I need God in my life. That's more of actually my story. Nothing, I mean, thank God, nothing traumatic or difficult, unusually difficult has happened in recent years or in my life, really. Nothing unusual in comparison to anybody else. Whoops, I'm not supposed to lean on the table here. So I guess part of me was like, gosh, it's kind of weird probably that I'm seemingly suddenly turning towards faith, which is actually not a sudden thing. It's sudden that I'm vocal about it. That's what's sudden. So yeah, so I guess I felt a little guilty in a weird way, like, oh, I think there's people who need this more than I do because their struggles are more than mine. So they need God's attention more than I do. I like always felt guilty asking God for things. I was always like, oh God, I'm sorry for asking. I'm really sorry for asking this. I know I should just be grateful for everything that I have. Like, it's like I give like this 20-minute disclaimer and apology for asking for something. And then my logic is, okay, well, if I don't ask for myself, I can only ask for other people. I have like this whole strange, I'm getting there, guys. Just, I'm getting there. But as I'm understanding, just to ask God and He will give you what you need, not necessarily what you want, but what you need in life. And that's that. So it's all good. So anyhow, gosh, I sidewind so bad, don't I, guys? I'm sorry. I've always had these occasional, exceptionally bad nightmares. I mean, everybody has nightmares sometimes, right? The nightmares that I have they always involve evil spirits, like legit evil spirits. And these dreams are always intensely, terrifyingly vivid and real. They're so bad and they're so recurring in nature and style and location and all that kind of stuff. But they've been very, very sporadic throughout my life. I mean, if I had to count, I'm 51. I've probably had like that I can remember like 10 or 20 dreams like that in 50 years. So that's not too bad, right? I don't really know the number, but it feels so much more insignificant in comparison to all the amazing, wild, wonderful dreams that I've always had. But they've always stood out. I always remember them. They always stick in my head. And I have noticed that since I have started really, really embracing my faith, these dreams have become a little bit more frequent and a lot more vivid. But now here's the exciting part. Here's the exciting part that is really, really wow to me. In these dreams, and I know what you might be thinking, once my friend said that to me, it put the thought in my head, and that's why I had the dreams. The dream started before her and I had the conversation. So there. I had one in particular. I'll tell you about it. Oh, this isn't going to be a 10-minute topic. It's going to be a full episode. Sorry. One of the dreams in particular that I had, I was visiting in Florida, staying at actually my ex's house. Good. That's a whole other story. We'll talk about that another day, guys. I was staying there, had a long, busy, wonderful, great day, went to bed. Everything's fine. I've stayed there. We've stayed there. My husband and I have stayed with them many, many times. Oh, good energy there. Nothing to do with them or their home, anything like that. So went to sleep. And then at some point, must have been like the really early hours of the morning, I had this dream that I was so real that it's one of those dreams where you're awake. I don't know how to explain it. Like you believe you're awake or you are awake. I don't know. I think they call it lucid dreams. Is that what that is? I don't even know. So I had this dream that I was laying in the bed. So it was an exact replica of what was actually happening. I was sleeping in bed and I was by myself. My husband didn't come on this trip. So it was just me in this bed. And I'm asleep for real and in the dream. and I feel movement behind me. I was sleeping on my side and I felt movement on the bed behind me, like just like a lifting of the covers. I'm creeping myself out just talking about it. And I knew I was conscious enough, or in my dream, I was conscious enough to know that that's my husband's not here. And I don't know what made me do it, but I kind of smacked down with my elbow. I smacked down the lump in the bed. There was like half fear. It was all fear, but it was like angry fear. Like I'm one of those people, if somebody jumps out at me, says, boo, I throw a punch immediately. Like, so I have anger, anger. So that's what I did. And when I did that, it unleashed all these figures and creatures, demonic creatures. And one of them went down to the end of the covers and grabbed my ankle and tugged me and yanked me. And that's what woke me up. And I woke up fully, and, my heart was racing. And in that dream, as that was happening, I was fighting like tooth and nail. I was like punching, kicking them off, and, wrestling away and fighting and all that. I didn't freeze up. I fought like a wildcat fought. And then I woke up and my heart was racing and I was completely freaked out. And I can't, I have to be honest with you, every time I've stayed there since, I have to sleep with the lights on. I do, because it really frightened me that much. That dream shook me. It really shook me. And since then, I've had a couple more dreams similar to that. And last night, that happened again. Not the exact same thing, just the same type, same vibe of a dream. And what I decided to really focus on as I analyze these dreams and what happened in them and what's going on, like, why is this happening? I focused on another aspect of the dream, which was the fact that in each one of these dreams, I fought back and I won. They didn't get me. They didn't get me. I fought back. I won. They didn't get me. That is the whole damn point of this whole episode. It took me that long to get to that point. Wow, how annoying. But then it's not an episode if we don't take a journey on it. So here's what I want to know. Has anyone else going through a similar experience that I am, or having gone through a similar experience that I am going through, the faith journey, has something like this happened to you? Have you been experiencing things like this? I don't think I'm alone in this. I don't think this is unusual or isolated by any means. But I think there's like strength in numbers, right? So maybe if we talk about this together, we can feel, more brave, help each other feel brave and not frightened, and realize that it's, in a weird way, it's a good thing. Like, in a weird way, like I don't want these nightmares. I don't wish them on anyone, but there is a part of me that says, you know what? That's good. It's good that you're having those dreams, because it means you're on the right track, because somebody doesn't like it. Somebody does not want you on that path, and they are trying to scare you off of it. So you must be doing something right. Okay, so that's it. That's all I've got on that. I really do genuinely want to hear your thoughts. And I also would like for you to click that subscribe button and make sure you're following for more content. See you soon. Hey, family, if you're looking for the perfect gift for the reader in your life, why not check out one of my books? They're all available on Amazon and most major online book retailers, as well as elsacurrent.com.